Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. We are continuing with the second part of our Q&A. I'm not going to kill you, guy. Just going to have a little close-up look at you. And off he goes. Oh, there's another one. Awesome, awesome. So I've got some questions to answer. I hope you enjoyed the last episode. And what was I going to mention? Oh yeah, we're doing some caving while we do this, and I'm just terrible at this stuff. I was collecting iron. I don't need that. We've got an iron farm. In general, I am a little bit unprepared, and I find it difficult to do this caving. So if you see me miss stuff or do silly things, it's just because I'm talking, so don't worry about that too much. And there is that skeleton guy that we ran away from last time. And I've actually got to be a little bit careful here. I can see some lava down the bottom there, which might mean diamonds, but what we're going to be doing is trying to light up this ravine, which is always a little bit of a tricky task. So I'm going to take it easy, not get too focused on the Minecraft, and get focused on the talking and the answering of questions. So this next question, or first one for this video, is what specs do I have on my computer? Now, I could tell you some of the specs, but let's just say it's pretty powerful. A while ago I upgraded my old computer and just got some really good hardware in there to play games and record videos. And one of the things I will tell you, but we'll get to this in a moment, the reason that I won't tell my actual specs is because I've noticed that a lot of people ask for specs so they can then use them to go and make their own computer, and that is really not the way to go about getting a computer. What you should do, and what I really recommend doing if you're thinking, you know, I want a supercomputer so I can play Minecraft really well, is to do research and to find out what computer is good for you. You know, don't just go and buy something because I have it. If I had told you the specs of my old computer and you'd have gone and brought that, you would have been horribly disappointed, because my old computer was not a gaming computer. It was designed for doing audio. It had a terrible case that was full of fancy lights and big fans, and it made a lot of noise, which is also not good for a sound computer. And that was a mistake that I made, you know. I decided I wanted to go for something fancy rather than functional, and I'd say I'd regret that, because it was a noisy thing, and that kind of lowered the quality of the audio when I was recording instruments and stuff with microphones. So yeah, so I recommend doing research. Now what I would do is let's say I'm going to get a new computer, I would buy a computer mag, and I would read reviews about graphics cards and different components and find out what each of them are good for. Now I will tell you, when it comes to Minecraft, a graphics card is not the main thing for performance. The graphics of the game itself are actually quite simple. Most of the game is done through Java, so if you have a good CPU, then you're going to get better performance than you would a good graphics card. So I have a pretty impressive graphics card on this computer. That's because I thought I would branch out and play some other computer games as well as Minecraft, which I haven't really done. And if you wanted to get good performance from Minecraft, and let's say your budget was limited, then you would want to focus on getting a good CPU rather than a good graphics card. Otherwise the game won't perform as well. So research and understanding, you know, what it is you want from your computer is the way to go about buying one. And that is the reason why I don't talk about my computer stats, because I'm just worried that people will read it and think, oh, I want a computer like his. They'll go and buy it, and then they will be a little bit disappointed. But in general, this thing is a powerhouse, you know, it can pretty much do anything. So I don't know, it depends really. If you have a budget, then you really need to know what exactly it is you want to get from your machine. And so let me look at the question. Actually, there was something else I was going to say. If you want to record videos, and it looks like we've done caving up here already, here's a really good tip. Get a dedicated drive for recording to. Separating up the information from drive to drive on your computer is a good practice. You know, you want a solid state drive for your Windows operating system. You could even then have another one that's dedicated to programs and games. But if you're going to record videos, make sure you have a dedicated hard drive in there for recording to. Now if you're doing 720p, you can get away with a 7200 RPM drive, and if you don't know what that is, well, most drives when you look them up will tell you their RPM speed, and if you're doing 1080, then it's a good idea to have a 10,000 RPM. Now if you are recording to a solid state drive, you are basically throwing your money in the bin, because there is not much advantage from doing that over a 10,000 RPM drive unless you want to record above 1080p, and I'm getting really technical with this chat now. Just realised I do kind of know my stuff, you know. I do like computers. I've been kind of keeping myself in the know with them for a long time. But yeah, you'll be basically burning your money because solid state drives, they can't be used over and over again like a hard drive can. They will eventually run out, and that's because there's kind of like a pro and a con, and we have found a dungeon. Woohoo! Let's light this thing up and have a look in the chest, and I will also just cut here and find out what my next question is. So the next question is about what software do I use to record and edit, and like with the last question, I'm a little skeptical about answering this because I think people will then go and buy the software I have in the hopes of making videos like I do. And again, like, research and knowing what you're doing is a good idea. So I use Movie Studio Platinum 12. I also have number 13, which I haven't really gotten used to using just yet. I also still use Windows Live Movie Maker for doing time lapses. I use DxStory to record, but I also use Fraps as well on occasion. Depends on the game or the setup, whatever it is I'm recording. But the thing is, when it comes to, you know, recording, you should probably just start off with something really simple like Windows Live Movie Maker. And I said recording, I actually mean editing. And I'm out of torches, which is kind of annoying. And there's some coal, excellent. So yeah, if you want to edit videos, I would really recommend going with Windows Live Movie Maker. It is really good. It's got all the basic tools you need to do everything, and just because it's free and it's kind of a basic thing doesn't mean it can't do the job. Now when you want to start doing fancy editing with overlays and stuff, then it's time to upgrade and get some paid software like Movie Studio Platinum, and that's the kind of path that I took. I learned the basic video editing, you know, kind of guidelines or the way to do videos with Windows Live Movie Maker, and when it got to the right time I upgraded to the next thing. And Windows Live Movie Maker is still useful for me as well because it can speed up video more than this software can, which makes it very good for doing time lapses. So that's the software that I use. The next question is, do I do YouTube full time, and what did I do before that? So I've already actually talked about what I did before a long time ago. I used to work for an agency, and I do YouTube full time. I actually was earning full-time money on YouTube while still working at the agency. You know, I did the smart thing and made sure that this was going to be a stable career for at least, you know, a year or two. Otherwise it wouldn't have been too worth getting invested in as a job, and it has definitely been that. It's been stable so far. I know that the bubble won't last forever, and I'm happy with that. I see this as an opportunity that you have to take advantage of. You know, there's this fantastic thing happening on YouTube. You can make a living playing games and making entertaining videos, and that's just fantastic. You know, I'd have to give that a go, and luckily I could due to the nature of what I was doing before. So yes, I am a full-time YouTuber. Okay, next up is something that I could talk about for a long time, and I'm not going to do that. I'm actually just going to jump straight to the end of this question. We want those, but the rest of it can stay. Am I with a network? The answer is no. I am partnered with YouTube. I'm extremely happy. I have watched other people partner with networks and make big mistakes by doing so. And to cut a long story short, here is my opinion on networks. In general, I think they're pretty much a scam. They are taking a cut of your ad revenue, and they don't really do anything in return for you. Now, they also lie about certain things, like premium ads is one of the ones I think. I've actually found out from a network executive owner that networks don't have control over the advertising on videos. That is all done by Google, and you know, I just don't trust networks in general because of this. And so my advice, to cut straight to the end of it, is don't sign with a network. It's not worth it. Just monetize your videos with YouTube. You will get your cut of the money that YouTube give you. And if you monetize with a network, let's say they're going to give you, you know, 80%. They're giving you 80% of the money that YouTube gives them. So you are getting less overall. And so hopefully, if any of you are out there are on a network or thinking of signing one, if you're on a network, I would encourage you to leave. And that's about it really. Yeah, I don't like networks. I didn't sign with one, and I'm very happy that I didn't. So next up is, how do I get inspired and how do I keep making videos? Well, the answer to that is actually you guys. You play a huge part in keeping me inspired. You know, all of the positive comments that I get on a video, they kind of recharge me, you know. Every time I do a video and one goes out, I go and read the comments and I just get excited for the next one, I guess. And in terms of being creative, I mean, creativity is, if you've got it, then you've got it. If you don't, creativity isn't something you can explain. It's not like you can go, oh, you need to do this. You've either got it or you haven't. And so I feel like I've got the creative thing with this Minecraft game. I've got the creativity with music as well, and so I can do those things. Whereas if it was something else, I don't know, like painting or I don't know, I really don't. I wouldn't be so creative with it just because I don't understand those things as much. That was a really strange answer, it sounds like, in my head. Anyway, what is the next question? Let's have a look. Creative blocks, how do I get through them? I've grouped those two questions together because of the similarity. So the way that I get through creative blocks is I actually have lists of things that I want to do. So when I'm not so inspired on a project, there are other ones there where I've kind of outlined the things that I wanted to do, and I find it much easier to do that if I've already documented what I wanted to do. So let's say one day, you know, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I could make a sugarcane farm like this and do this thing. Then I'll just write that down and keep a note of it, because if ever I'm not in the mood to do anything and I need to make the next video to come out, then I can just refer to that list and start working on something that I know I'm interested in. And so the creative blocks, you know, they're kind of not blocks. They're just moments where the creativity isn't there, but I've kept a track of, you know, my previous creativity, if you like. So that's how I deal with that. So next question is, will I play modded Minecraft? I have talked about it before. I've expressed my opinions on some of the mods, and where I'm at right now, I can see myself playing modded Minecraft soon. I just feel like I've been looking for something in a game lately. I've actually been playing some other games and looking for something new to do, and I feel like maybe mods could be that. Maybe the time has come to start playing around with some mods, which I am actually kind of looking excited to doing. I've been watching some modded videos, and there's actually some really cool stuff going on there. I really like Tinker's mod. I think that's a really well done mod. If I were to, you know, change vanilla, I'd probably do something like Tinker's mod. I think the way that works with crafting tools is really awesome. So yeah, I'll probably be playing modded sometime soon. If I make videos on it, I don't know. I have actually been kind of playing around in creative. The main thing that I like about modded though is building. You have a wealth of textures and shapes and new things to build with. It just makes building easy when there's all of these really cool, you know, nice looking textures, and not these ones that you're just so familiar with that, you know, it's kind of hard to get the inspiration to come up with new things because there's just such a small palette. So that's one of the things I really like about modded. And I've just realised that we were supposed to be lighting up a ravine, and I've just gone off in a different direction. I'm probably so far away from the base, this is never going to make a difference. So I'm going to head back. I'm going to head back and find that ravine. So I found my way back to the beginning of this ravine. Our next question is, do I play other games? The short answer is no, I really don't. However, lately I've been playing Theme Hospital again. That is a game that I never really completed when I was a kid, and I just felt like giving that one a go again, and I've kind of been enjoying it. It's not as challenging as I remember, but it is a fun game to play. And there's probably a bunch of other games that I played over time that I could mention, but primarily I'm not really a gamer, I'm more of a musician. So for me, you know, I'd normally play the guitar than I would play a computer game. But I do have some games listed down that I used to play when I was a kid that I just want to mention for any of you out there who played these games, a little bit of nostalgia. So I've already mentioned Doom, Jazz Jackrabbit, Tyrion 2K, Beneath a Steel Sky, Cannon Fodder, Lands of Lords, and Command and Conquer were some of my favourite games from my childhood, so I thought I'd shout those out for any of you that also played them. So now we shall attempt to swim up this stream and take the water from the top with this bucket so we can go across that lava. But these next questions that I have, let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay, I've got a list on my other screen, by the way, in case you're wondering what on earth I'm on about. What is my favourite build? Now, I gave it some thought, and there were some stuff I could remember, and I'm pretty sure there are some interesting builds we've done over time that I couldn't remember. But I think one of my favourite is the Atlantis build that we done on Xisuma's world. I just love the way that that came together. There were some really cool projects all tied together in this strange sort of half underwater, half above base, and we even made a promotional video on that. I think that went to the front page on Reddit. It has like 100,000 views. I'm really proud of what we did there. So if you're interested in watching that, there is a video for you to go and watch at the end of this one. I'll put a link to that in the description box. I think you will like it if you haven't seen it already, and that is really a long time ago. That is probably 2 years old now. But let's move on to the next question. Who is my favourite YouTuber? Now I've got a few answers here. In the world of Minecraft, I've got to say it is probably Efo or DocM. I've been watching them guys for so long, and I still watch them today. I really enjoy their Let's Plays, and yeah, there's not much more to say about it than that. If you guys watch them, then you'll know what I mean. They're awesome at what they do, and if you don't, then go and check them out because they are really cool guys. I've even made some videos with them before, and of course I'm doing the Respawn Network with Doc. But yeah, they would be my favourite YouTubers in the world of Minecraft, and outside of Minecraft as well. I do have some other channels that I follow. I really like The Needle Drop, if any of you watch him. I think he's a very intelligent and articulate person, and the way he talks about music is just really delightful to hear. I often watch him talk about music when I'm not even interested in the band that he's talking about. And then also channels like Numberphile and the Game Theorists I think are really good as well. So there's some other YouTubers that I watch. Don't think we're going to find any diamonds down there or up here, are we? Anyway, let's turn around. If you can't tell, my voice is getting a little strained at the moment. We're not got too many questions left, but it is actually really hard for me just to sit here and continuously talk. It's not something I normally do because I do my little takes and it gives me a kind of chance for my voice to rest. Anyway, we're going to soldier on here. I need to turn around, just make sure I'm safe. Right, let's look at the next question. What YouTube videos do I watch? I think I kind of covered that already. Like I said, like Numberphile and stuff like that, if it isn't Minecraft. Let's have a look. Do I consider myself famous? This is a question I really want to answer because a lot of people that I've met on my server and stuff consider me to be famous, and I do not. I believe, first of all, that the current nature of being famous is a little bit silly. You can be famous for some really strange reasons. I don't know, like getting on a TV show. I think people should be famous for, you know, curing diseases and doing great things for humanity, not for, I don't know, appearing on some celebrity TV show or something like that. So I don't consider myself famous because I don't think I've done anything particularly relevant to society, but also I don't consider the YouTube thing to be fame as such. You know, this is all through an avatar. Maybe my avatar could be famous, but I certainly don't feel famous, and I don't see it that way. I see YouTube as a different kind of entity to fame. So no, I do not consider myself famous. The next one is, on my public server, does fanboying annoy me? No, it does not in the slightest. I get a lot of people messaging me around the clock, which sometimes can be a little bit tiring when you're trying to do something and people think you're ignoring them. But in general, it doesn't bother me. I think it's awesome that people are happy to see me on the server, and I don't see anything wrong with it at all. So that's my answer to that one. What's my favourite videos to make? Hermitcraft is definitely my favourite. Definitely my favourite, although I really like making tutorials as well. But I think the best answer there is it just depends what mood you're on. You know, sometimes I'm not always in the mood for Hermitcraft, and when I'm not, I try to give myself as much time as I can to get back into it. But mood is a big factor when it comes to creating videos. So we are actually getting near to the end of this list. I've got 3 questions highlighted here, and then another one which I need to give myself a little bit of time to think about before I answer. So what do you want to see changed with YouTube, and what do you like most about YouTube? So I'm going to start off... I'm going to start off with what I like most about it. Obviously that you can make a living through doing this is just amazing. I think that's a really nice thing that YouTube have done there, because this is a new and evolving platform. So the way that TV works is the same as YouTube. You know, if people turn up and watch your show, they watch the adverts in between. Now what YouTube have done is they've put that into the hands of anyone who can do something and drag people's, or grab even would be the correct word, grab people's interest, has the opportunity to make some money through what they're doing. And I really like that. That's a really cool approach, because otherwise, you know, what would you do? You'd have to take your little Minecraft show to a network executive and they'd probably go, what on earth is this? I don't understand what Minecraft is, and that would be that. So because of that, you know, loads of new things have been able to evolve through people just having a passion for doing something that is new, and that's how the whole Let's Play thing got going. So that would be another thing. I think my favourite thing about YouTube though is that it's multinational. It kind of takes or tears down barriers between countries and those kind of borders, which I think is a very good and healthy thing to have in our society. What I don't like about YouTube is it feels like they're trying to experiment with how their own system works when they got it right from day one. You know, you subscribe, then you see what they're doing or what that channel is doing with the videos. If you don't like it anymore, you can unsubscribe, whereas now it feels like YouTube are trying to create some sort of intelligent system that figures out exactly what you want to watch and puts it on a plate for you, even if you click subscribe or not. So because of some of the weird changes they've been making to the way subscription feeds, I would say that would probably be the thing that I don't like about YouTube. Okay, so this question that I needed to think about, I thought about it, and the question is, what 3 things would you bring from Minecraft to real life? And the more I thought about it, the more I didn't really see anything that would be too interesting. Ender pearls would be amazing in real life. Throw an ender pearl, get from A to B, brilliant. That would also probably be quite dangerous as it is in the game. You know, you can die from throwing them. That would be one thing. The other one would obviously be redstone. However, redstone kind of already exists in the world because of currents and logic. You know, redstone is actually inspired from logic and circuits, you know, the things you find inside computers, and it's kind of just a simplified version of that, so that kind of already exists in the world. Then after this we've got a few like trivial questions. There were a lot of those, and to be honest, half of them I wasn't really sure what to say for an answer, but one of them here is, what is your favourite colour? My favourite colours are orange and blue, and they are also opposite colours and they look really nice next to each other, I think. Then we have, do you like sweet and savoury food? I will talk about that in a little bit. The other thing is, what is my favourite food? My favourite food is enchiladas. That is both to cook and to eat as well, because I really like cooking. And so back to the sweet and savoury thing, I prefer savoury foods, and the reason why is because if you have sugar in your diet, it kind of affects your taste buds. And that will probably sound a little bit strange, but you know, I grew up eating sweets and things like that and chocolate, and as I got older, you know, I realised that they're not good for you, they make you fat and things like that, they're not good for your health, so I stopped eating them over time. And what I learnt was that the sugars really kind of distort your taste, and things like salads and just, you know, foods that you might not think are that tasty, they really are when you don't have sugar in your diet. And so where I've cut out eating sweets and, you know, having less sugar with my food in general, I become more receptive to taste, and so I'm actually a fan of savoury tastes more than I am sweet. I think they have like more character and more to them, and sugar stuff, it kind of all tastes the same once you get it out of your diet. So with me having hardly any sugar in my diet, if I were to eat, you know, sugary food 1 or sugary food 2, they would probably both taste the same to me. So savoury is my answer to that, and also eat healthy. It's good for you. It really is. It's worth doing, you know. Eat salads, get lots of exercise, all of that stuff is really good for you. However, I don't really want to preach on that too much, you know. Some people don't like to hear about that, so that's fair enough. So I got another question here that earlier I couldn't really think of the answer to, but now I think I know it. So the question is, what is the longest video you have ever made? Now, the way I just worded that was completely wrong. It's not the longest video, the one that took me the longest. And I think I know what they are. They would be the old cave spider spawner trap videos. If you haven't seen those, there are 2 of them. For the longest time they were my most popular videos, and probably still a lot of people watching this video will remember that one. It was a tutorial that was heavily used by a lot of people, and it was just when cave spiders were really good for XP farms before the end came along and all of that. And so that one, both of those, because there's 2 of them, took me literally a whole day to make. It was a really intense video making session. I can remember getting, you know, really worn out just putting those videos together because they took so long. And then the other one would be the special episode, the finale episode of Xisuma's world. That one I think was a 50-minute video, and it took me so much longer to do all of the stuff that I did in that. I built a massive underground farm for sheep, and it was a really long one. I do remember that taking a long time. Now there's probably been one or two others as well. I know that there's been some tedious episodes of Hermitcraft here and there where things haven't gone too well, and it's taken me a lot of time to put things together, but those are the ones that come to mind. So if you're interested in watching them, there will be links in the description box. So to get out of here, I'm just going to dig straight up. That is our last question. And I was thinking, you know what, I could do this some more. I actually really enjoyed this more than I expected to. And so what I'm going to say is, you've watched both of the episodes now. If you didn't watch the first one, of course, go back and watch that. But maybe there were some questions you posted I didn't answer, or maybe you think of something else you'd like to ask me, then just leave a comment down below, and if I choose to do another one of these, then I will definitely answer that. So I'm going to dig up to the surface, and we're going to find out where exactly this adventure took us. So this is where we have exited from our caving adventure. We have come all the way off in this direction. I was a little surprised because we were in the opposite corner of the wasteland, so a lot of what we were doing probably didn't make too much of a difference down there, but I learnt pretty quickly that it's kind of hard to concentrate on doing both and to do all of that caving quickly, so we probably didn't make too much of a difference, but it's alright. I hope you have enjoyed these question and answer videos. Again, all of the links to the videos that I talk about in this video will be in the description box down below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please do leave a like, it will always be appreciated. But I will catch you in the next episode of Hermitcraft, which will of course resume to the normal format. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time.